MRC, Mazarek Cowan Community Recreation Center. It started life in 1898 on this building over here, and it was the Parkdale Curling Club, done by Darling and Pearson, two architects that are dear to our heart, because shortly after that they did the original building for the Royal Ontario Museum. They also have one other little thing, and I have to explain this to you. After Darling and Pearson finished the Royal Ontario Museum, their next commission was the Parliament buildings in Ottawa, because they burned down in 1915, and they were sent up there to get them built very quickly. Now, every time you look at any Canadian banknote, Parliament buildings are in the front of it. They're always in the strip. Okay? Now, got you all hooked on that? So, from now on, whenever you take a bill out, you'll think, Darling and Pearson, Royal Ontario Museum. And you have two choices. You can say, I've got to go to that next exhibit. Or you can say, I'll send them some money. Entirely up to you. So, there's Darling and Pearson. It only made it as a curling rink for 10 years, and then it was bought out by a gentleman who used it for a dance hall and a recreation center and all kinds of things. In 1944, it was purchased by the Czech community to be their community center. There were a lot of Czechs living in the neighborhood because they worked at the munitions factories just down over here in what was then the Massey Ferguson complex. In the 1980s, they moved out to Scarborough, to their new location. The community moved out there. And so the city ended up with the property. And what happened was a really neat thing. The whole community got together with the city, and they did some creative work. They took the original curling rink, which still has the hall inside. They took the 1905 fire hall, which replaced the bell over there. Notice where the doors were, okay? And then they took some bricks off the side and back of the building, because they wouldn't need that in the interior anymore. And they used them to do the center section here to join those two buildings together. And then they joined it all. If you look at it, you can see a whole set across the top of the roof lines. They're called basket handles. They actually look like basket handles. And that's the unifying thing across, which actually basically are Renaissance Revival buildings, but it's more the basket handles that really put it together. In 1988, it opened up as a community center and has been one ever since, and is very much the heart of this community. Lots of events that go on to hold it together. So that just gives you a little example. Now, one of the things that ROM Walk tries to do is to get people to walk around and look up. Not at the same time, please. Stand still when you're doing that. So we're going to walk up, and I'm going to have you look up after we stand still. Let's go.